Manchester City, Man United 2-1 in favor of Manchester United. Um, let's start with Chudi. Walk us through. I know how you're feeling, but for everybody else, walk us through how you were feeling day of the game. You know how everything went. What are your thoughts about that game?
So normally, I think I spoke to you before the game, and every Saturday morning I go play my ball. 10 o'clock time, everything perfect. And all my guys signed up. I was going to play ball, and I was like, I already know what's going to happen. Let me not go there and just elevate my hope for no reason. I carry blood pressure wahala for no reason. So I like, so that I thought about. I was going to play ball, and I woke up that day. I was like, nah, it's not. Something didn't feel right. I was like, you know what? Last, I'll watch first half, see what is happening. If everything fails on me, if the first 15, 20 minutes fails, I'll turn off the TV, I'll move on with my life, I'll figure out what I'm doing for the rest of my day. That's how I thought about it. And that's how I approached it. I was like, you know what? There's no way, at least, there's no way I can watch a final on a recording or highlights. It just wouldn't feel right. So I put my head in there. And after that first half, I still wasn't comfortable, but I was very impressed with that first half. And I would say impressed in the sense that people were saying, "Oh, you're dumb." I expect City to maintain possession. I
Yeah.
expected us to get bombarded, but what impressed me the most was the amount of duels that we won, the fights. Like I haven't checked it, but I'm sure we won more duels in that fight. Like in terms of that's those the second balls, the tackles, the aggression. You could see the fight in their eyes. Like those guys, nobody was letting up. The level of discipline, I've never. I mean, the last time I saw that kind of discipline was probably a game against Liverpool. But that level of discipline, like where it's like, look, we're here to die. Like this, this thing is depending on a lot of things, and everybody stayed disciplined the entire game. Play to your strength, stay disciplined, stay in your pocket of space. You're not following any man per se. You're not here to man mark. Just stay in your pocket of space, draw back, push, and do exactly what you're supposed to do. That was a great team display. And
Can I just comment how this man sounded like he was giving testimony in church? I just sat there like I did. I know I just telling a story of life. I just didn't expect this, but thank God it. Honestly, though, it was just watching that game was obviously. I mean, if there was a way for both teams to lose, I would have wanted that.
I
But
know. Yeah.
obviously, because we had a stake in Europa League, or we had an interest in the Europa League, I wanted City to win. Having said that, just from the outside looking in as a disinterested, viewer, which I wasn't at the time, but as a disinterested viewer, it was really nice to see, people toughen up to a Guardiola-led team, because I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people try to play with them or whatever, but Man U came there to break legs. I don't know, just to jam people rough, like to rough handle some players, and it just took a lot of those players out of the game, a lot of City players out of the game. Foden was inexistent essentially. With the way Amrabat was out there, I thought it was a different Amrabat, like not the Amrabat from this season that we've seen flop day in day out.
Yeah.
He was there like tackling everything, and everybody just came to play that day. Like win your duels must have been the message. Win your personal duels, everything you're in, try to win it. And like Shudi was saying, it felt like Man U was first to every ball, like first to every kind of duel and everything. So obviously, I don't know what the message was from Ten Hag. I don't know what he mixed in with their Gatorade. If he added a little crack in there, I don't know if he just told them like, look, if you guys win, I will stay, and if I stay, I can promise you part of my generational wealth or whatever. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did, but it worked, and it showed not necessarily the blueprints, but because this is something that we've seen before, Guardiola-led teams are usually prone to physical players of a certain quality. Obviously, you can't just be physical and have no quality. But
Right.
it takes me back to those days of Barcelona, prime Barcelona with Guardiola and the Mourinho-led Madrid. Barcelona had like more technique and everything, but the way those guys came, they came to fight. Essentially, you have to fight a Guardiola team to beat them, and that's what Man U did. And kudos to them.
I don't know where to start because I feel like either of you now is going to be a sermon. So let me start with Benny. Benny, what's your thoughts on sacking of Poch?
How do you say horrible, but in the worst way? Okay, so everybody that knows me or what I'm about, they know where I stand on Clearlake, Todd Bowley, the new owners of Chelsea. They know what I absolutely think of them. I think the world of them, and by the world I mean dog shit.
Oh, okay.
So I have been
Guy,
on this
we are
mountain
fiery.
preaching to anybody wants to listen to me, anybody wants to hear me. Chelsea fans, non-Chelsea fans, and anybody alike. Anybody with ears to listen. These guys don't know what the hell they're doing. They have no clue what they're doing. They're bringing a model that does not work into the Premier League. Maybe their ownership of LA Dodgers has got them thinking, oh, wow, we've owned a slightly successful franchise, which they haven't won when was the last time they won this, by the way, they
The
haven't
World
won in a long
Series.
time. And they just
Yeah, the
signed
World Series.
Otani. Let's see what they do this year. But they are bringing that model into this unrelated system and think, okay, it has to work here. Okay, we are smart, we're billionaires, we know what we're doing. We're gonna make sure we're gonna reinvent the wheel essentially. We're gonna come here and sign players to 8-year contracts into prison term contracts with no incentive to perform for those 8 years. Essentially, we're gonna come here and find a coach that we're gonna sign players, pay extra money to get the best, so they know we can splash money, not knowing that there are guardrails that prevent that from spending anyhow you want every single year. They're going to come in and say, okay, we know what we're doing. Let's just fire everybody in the previous administration and start afresh. Everybody down to the groundsman. And they fired everybody, started afresh. Players that were there last, only maybe 4 or 5 players that were there with the previous administration or whatever. But they got new players, brand new players, overpaid for virtually all of them. The marquee signings were overpaid for by a multiple of 2 at the very least. Because I don't care what anybody says. Hey, why you're part of people that are here shouting Caicedo. Caicedo is not worth 120 million pounds in any market. I don't care what you say. Enzo is not worth 150 million pounds in any market. I don't care what you say. What's his name? This guy from Leicester, this defender from Leicester that hasn't played only 2 games or 3 games.
Fofana.
He is not worth 75 million pounds. I don't care what anybody says. But this guy came and said, okay, we'll just pay extra money so they know we can splash money. Oh, by the way, we need a new manager. Let's fire this guy who's, although he has social skills, who is tactically up there with the best managers in the world. First of all, we fired everybody that's supporting him in terms of bringing people in. But no, let's drag this guy in to make decisions on who to buy. Buy those players, some of those players, then fire him 6 seasons later. Then you fire him and hire Graham Potter. Hire Graham Potter to a 5-year deal for 60 million pounds.
Jesus.
12 million pounds a year for an unproven English coach. And I'm not trying to be, anti whatever here. I'm nothing against the English. But remind me the last decent English coach you've had in the last 20 years. English.
Nothing.
Ferguson's not English. Guy is Scottish. The last English coach
guy, stop
has
it.
been none. And you get this guy that's unproven at Brighton, who is languishing in the middles, no pressure, just stay in the league. That's the only pressure you have. Stay in the league, don't get relegated. To the place with bright lights, immense pressure, a massive fan base, and say, okay, we want you to lead this new adventure. A year in, the guy underperforms as most people with sense expected. You fire him. And who do you go get? Not even a year in. Did he last a year now? Potter did not last a year. Less than a year. He brought in Lampard again to come and ginger the guys. 11 games, 1 win, 8 defeats.
Bring him back game. I think
brought him back. Brought Lampard back.
Bring him back again. Bring Lampard again.
Guy, make an answer for your glasses. Anyway, point is that these guys don't know what they're doing, and now they keep at every turn you see they'll blame the previous administration for this, the previous administration did this, or they put us in this, we didn't know about this, we didn't know about this. First of all, nobody forced you to buy Chelsea. When they brought the case and said, hey, do your due diligence. If you're not comfortable with what you're doing, you're not comfortable with what you saw, don't buy it. Nobody forced you. We're praying for Saudi guys to come and invest, and those guys were ready to invest. But UK government, in their own greediness or in their own holier than thou, whatever. No, we don't want Saudi money, whatever.
We do the West thing. We are holier than thou, and our morals are the best morals in the world.
Their money is clean. They went to get Americans that don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay, they're there now. Hire people that know what they're doing. No, you get players, first of all, which is one of the stupidest things I've ever thought of. You can think of in your life. You get a coach and say, okay, no, we don't want a coach that will come and bring his philosophy. We want a coach that can work with only these players. You can't tell us what players to buy you. You can't tell us who you want, who you like for your own philosophy. You have to you have to have a style that fits these players. And you've somehow, and they did something, the only thing I'll give them credit for was, After they fired, after Lampard left, they brought in Pochettino, who is not a winner, but for all intents and purposes, he's a decent manager. A decent manager who has been, he's been there, he's done that. He hasn't won much, but he's been there, he's done that. At the very least, he can bring stability to the team. The team started all rocky and everything, injuries and everything like that. Okay, fine. But then he figured it out eventually. First of all, Enzo and Caicedo cannot play together with Gallagher in the same midfield. That's eventually figured it out, and took. I think once Enzo got injured, it became very, very clear that only two of them can play in the midfield. But he figured it out eventually, and he ended the season well. What do you do as somebody with small sense? Okay, you know what? He has figured something out. Let's see if he can continue this, whatever. No, let's fire him. Let's go and bring De Zerbi because we want to be like Brighton. If you are coming to a league and want to be the best, do you not copy the best? Why do you copy mid-table teams? You buy all their players, number one, buy all their recruiters, number two, collect their coach. You call it the second coach again. It no go better for Togoli and Clearly. It no go better for them.